go.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave,
I'm Courtney.
and we're the Counseling Geeks. Uh, Here we are. I'm not sure how many videos we've done so far, Courtney, but five, yeah.
Something like that.
We've done a few regarding mental health, and I know we've been concentrating a lot on COVID-19 and the quarantine and all that sort of thing, and we're going to take a little bit of a jaunt another way today, talking about the stigma of seeking mental health help, anyways. And actually, it does go along with our whole series on COVID-19 and all of that, because people are needing some mental health help, and some are getting it, some aren't. So we figured we'd talk about the stigma of mental health. And so I'm just going to start out by saying, what is a stigma? A stigma is, well, actually, according to this, is when someone views you in a negative way because you have a distinguishing characteristic or personal trait that's thought to be or actually is a disadvantage. How's that for a definition? Basically, what it comes down to is that people have a generally negative idea of what it means to need mental health treatment, and this can lead to discrimination and on many levels, anyways. And so this is something that happens all the time, and it happens for many reasons. And Courtney, you want to talk about how some of those arise?
Yeah. We've been talking about how the stigma of mental health is certainly still there, but it's getting better as more people talk about it and as younger generations are more open to it. But there's a lot of reasons why it happens and has happened in the first place. And there's a lot of things to kind of take into consideration generationally. So, a generation ago, people didn't talk about seeing a therapist. It was something that you dealt with on your own, or you just talked about within the family, but it was not something that you sought help for outside of that. So there's generational components to this. There's cultural components. So depending on your cultural belief systems, a lot of cultures might not feel that this is seeking, a therapist is appropriate or the way to go. So cultural beliefs can impact it. Your gender can certainly impact it. Men and women have different maybe viewpoints, and again, looking into generationally and culturally, race is another factor in this as well too, and just society as a whole. Again, is all of these factors. I'm sure I'm missing factors, but these are some big components as to why it's happened. And I know we've talked before, Dave. Like, a lot of my younger clients are very, very open about to their friends, to their
Mhm.
family about seeing a therapist. You see it more now on the news, like not on the news, but on like on TV shows
Right.
now, where they're like highlighting a therapist, as part of a sitcom. So luckily, the talk is there and it's getting better. We still have
Mhm.
a long way to go, though.
Right, absolutely. So just some steps that you can take when dealing with the stigma, if you're considering going in and getting some mental health counseling, is one thing is knowing that you are not your disorder. Somebody may have bipolar disorder, but we mistakenly say things like, you're bipolar. And that's far from the truth. You are not defined by what mental illness you have or what kind of symptoms you have and all that sort of thing. And so, but that's been ingrained in our culture, in a lot of cultures. And so a lot of times that leads to self-doubt, shame, all that sort of thing, weakness that we were talking about. And so one of the things that you have to do is really sit with yourself and recognize that it's my self-esteem, or it's my confidence, or it's my, what have you, that's keeping me from doing the things that I need to do for myself. And look at it as being more in terms of, that you would go to your doctor if you had diabetes, you would go to your doctor if you had cancer, and you would seek treatment and all that sort of thing, and there wouldn't be a stigma around it. This is the exact same thing as doing that. It's again, um, just taking care of yourself, because our mind and our body are so intertwined, that we have to take care of one to take care of the other, and vice versa. But getting into the whole thing of knowing that you have to move forward with being confident, with thinking differently of you. You might, in terms of that, try to seek out some support, whether that be just through family members or friends or local organizations or things like that, or a support group as well. And hopefully with that, you'll be able to find the strength to go ahead and take a risk. And there is that old saying from Nike, even, just do it, and deal with the fallout from there. And a good therapist will help you with the stigma of mental health, and help you work through it, and help you to feel better about being there. And hopefully, if you do seek out treatment, or even if you don't, maybe you find a different way of dealing with whatever it is that you're dealing with. Hopefully, you'll become an advocate for mental health. That you'll speak out in favor of people seeking out mental health treatment, and it not being a stigma, and people being able to feel more comfortable taking care of themselves mentally, emotionally, psychologically, on and on. Um, Anything else, Courtney?
As you were talking, I was thinking about why people come to therapy in the first place. And a lot of times when your pain becomes so great that you have no other choice, that's sometimes when we tend to see people. And I kind of liken it to like a car that you don't take care of. So
Mhm.
imagine yourself as like a car, and if you don't change the oil, if you don't have maintenance, your car will stop running. But
Yeah,
then the same goes for your mental health too. If
right,
you don't take care of that pain, or you don't take care of that distress, it's going to cause immense distress in your life and really impact your quality of life. And again, I'm a big component of when something like that is truly impacting your quality of life, and that pain is so great. Um, don't be afraid to reach out for support. That is the most courageous thing that you could possibly do, is to pick up that phone, or call, or get information about talking to somebody, about, what you're going through, so you don't have to go through it alone. Um,
right.
as
Well,
therapists, we
and
can walk you through it.
absolutely. Well, and speaking of that too, is that when you go to a therapist, everything is confidential. We're not even allowed to tell anybody that you exist. So there is that level of confidentiality there, and also there, available is online counseling, where you're not going to an office, and you're basically getting on the phone or a video conference, and it's completely, nobody should know about it. So there are some different ways to avoid, if you can't make it to the point of overcoming the stigma, there are ways to do it, out of the comfort of your own home. So, all right. Well, certainly send your questions or your comments, and about this video, or about ideas about other videos. And always be sure to like us and subscribe. All right. Everybody take care.
Thank you, guys.
All right.